Okay, so with that, let's keep this same energy going.
Mhm.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Snazzy
Yeah.
TV. It is 2024. Thank you so much. I have a new guest here, my first guest for 2024. This is your host, Alana Tyson. And if you've watched us before, you know what we do here. We talk to content creators to kind of get a sneak peek of what their life is when they're creating content, and to kind of give you an idea of what they're doing when they're not creating content. So my first guest again for 2024 is Donnie, and you will know him as ThatCrazySubGuy on all of the social media channels, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. So make sure you go and check him out. Let's see, what else can I say about Donnie? His content is incredible. You'll see that when you go on, which is why I invited him on the show. But I'm really, really, really excited to be back. 2023 was a bit of a slow year, but it was slow in some aspects, but not slow in others. We was doing a lot of things behind the scenes, but all ramping it up to get to this point where we could have some new guests on the show. Let's see. Shout outs. I'll do a shout out real quick because that's what we do here. I am going to shout out. This is just someone that I'm following right now, someone whose content I think is incredibly original, and I am loving watching his journey. It is someone by the name of on IG at TrueWag. True, TRU underscore wag, as in wag a tail. So TrueWag. Hopefully I can get this guy on the show. I would love to have him sit down and talk to me before he blows up, because I see it happening, folks. I'm telling you, I got like a crystal ball and I'm just like following content creators and I'm like, yes, they're next. She's next. All right. So that is my shout out. Donnie, who are you shouting out today?
Well, of course, I gotta shout out you. Thank you so much for thinking of me and bringing me on. Definitely appreciate that. Of course, I have to shout out Jersey Mike's because a lot of what I do is centered around Jersey Mike's. I'll get in trouble if I don't shout out my wife and my kids, of course. And my cousin Lucas, who is a big reason of why I started this. And of course, my higher power, who I choose to call God. Last but not least, that's all
Absolutely.
I got.
Okay. And I'm going to say thank you, Lucas, because your content is amazing. You had a really, really good idea. Apparently, you stuck with it, stayed consistent, and we're loving it. So, with that, I think we'll talk a little bit next about your brand.
But the way that this all blew up was I was talking about a sandwich on the menu, a secret menu item and its history. And it was just a customer point of view video. And I was very passionate about it. And for whatever reason, it just went viral, like 7 point something million views,
Wow.
and it took off from there. I mean, I couldn't keep up with how people were commenting, liking, following. It was overwhelming in such a great way. And then I just went into a lot of POVs from there, just talking about my story, talking about my sandwiches, and
Yeah.
just stories that happen at work, um, and giving people a piece of like kind of behind the scenes of Jersey Mike's stuff, and
Gotcha.
that was how it began.
Yeah. Okay. And so I will tell you what I love most about your content, because I've watched a lot of it. I do a lot of research on every guest that I have on the show, and I'll even ask you about a couple of things. You're going to be like, "Oh my God, she knew that," and I'm like, "Yes," because I dig, I dig, I dig. So, what I love about your content, for one, it is really, really consistent. And one of the things about why I started Before They Get Famous and just the whole idea of Snazzy TV is it's kind of like content creators helping content creators. right? Because
Mhm.
before anyone becomes a content creator, there's kind of like some of these like ideas of, oh my gosh, is this a silly idea? Is, should I do this? Maybe somebody else is doing it and I don't know if I can do it as good, right? So I like to kind of highlight some of the things with at least the folks that I'm watching in terms of what I think is really, really working and what perhaps why your following is as big as it is. One is like really, really consistent. All of your videos kind of have this crazy and it kind of matches with your whole vibe. It's like this that crazy sub guy. It's like the even the font is like it's like so strategic. It is so so well done. So I will tell you, for one, you really really got something going with the consistency of your brand, and it's noticeable, right? It's not just me noticing it. I think that's what your followers are attracted to, right? So super consistent and just really original, right? So I was thinking about this, and I watch content creators way a lot, probably more than I should, but they're kind of this is the business, right?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of stuff. Um, there are like a lot of, especially when you see a content creator doing anything about a food chain, it's usually negative, right? And
Yeah.
it's it's like and I'm not going to call out any names of any brands or anything, but you see the ones that are out there. People are ragging on this fast food place or that place, and talking about how their food is not that great, or like all the things that they do in the back that are the best, but this is not
Mm.
that. This is not that. Like, you are giving major, major kudos to Jersey Mike's, their ideology, in terms of how they want the customers to perceive the employees, and you are like so in line with that. So that is really, really refreshing just to see, like, the positivity of your content is really, really cool. And it's original and it's engaging, right? So you're like, folks, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you go to his page and you check out all his socials and stuff, and you see what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about engaging in terms of like how you're like naming sandwiches after some of your customers, and you're allowing the customers to kind of get in on the fun of like mixing and doing mashups with all these like number 99 and the secret menus. It is crazy cool. Crazy, crazy cool. I love it.
Oh,
So
thank you.
let's talk about your numbers, right? So this is all about content. And so, of course, we have to talk a little bit about the numbers in terms of growth. So you talked about that early video going like super viral. Let's talk a little bit about your growth just overall. You give a lot of credit to your followers as well. You've got over 74,000 on IG, over 40 something thousand on YouTube. So talk a little bit about what that has been like for you, like watching that growth happen.
Oh, it's kind of surreal because I'm like, is people are actually consciously saying, I want to follow this guy. And like for me, it's just, I still feel like it's a dream a little bit because I could have never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be somebody that somebody would want to follow, these numbers. And it's like in my mind, it's something so simple kind of what I'm talking about because it's just things that I think of in my head. And I love that I've come to the point where I can just let it flow into the videos, and I had to teach myself how to edit all these videos, and I feel like I'm at a point where I can truly express what I'm thinking and put it into something that people can engage with and watch, and it can make them feel some type of way. So seeing the growth, it's like, wow, I feel fulfilled, you know, if it makes me feel like I'm doing something bigger than just making a sandwich, which at the end of the day, that is what it is, right? I have a camera making a sandwich, but it's about what I'm saying, not just what I'm making. And I think that it makes me feel real good knowing that what I'm saying could possibly be helping somebody, whether it's helping somebody get out of a rut, come to a realization, just make them hungry and want to go eat Jersey Mike's, or make them laugh, make them cry, make them, just feel something. Um, it's rewarding.
And your followers, because if you really want to know how content is being received, it's all in the comments, right? The comment section. Your followers really adore you. They really, really do. And it's genuine. Like
Oh,
I read through it, and you're making folks' day. Folks are like coming into the store to meet you. That is really, really cool, because you could be using social media for a lot of things. So to choose to do something positive is, um, it's pretty awesome. So you mentioned
yeah, it's
editing.
something different.
Yeah, different for sure. I'm going to touch
Mhm.
back on something real quick. You mentioned editing, and that is, again, something kind of one of the reasons, aside from just the fact that there were so many amazing content creators out there. The editing piece is kind of what really led me to create this ASMIS, the Academy of Social Media Arts and Sciences. So I'm on a mission to have social media recognized as an art, like as one of, like literally one of the arts. So it'll be like right up there with performance, visual, and social media. And my organization right now is the only one that's doing that.
Mm.
But I mentioned that editing piece because I think a lot of people who don't create content have no clue how artistic this all is. It's like a what do you a maestro, right? Like having to, so if you could just talk a little bit about your editing process. And I know you had a little tip that you mentioned about your closet. Tell me, talk a little bit about that.
So, okay. So the editing, I have to talk about how far it's come, because I used to just edit inside of the TikTok app. Okay, so I started there, and then I started editing on my phone, just like I have an iPhone. I was like, oh, I can do it on iMovie. All right, well, let's do that. And I did this for over a year, and then I finally gave in, and I got an actual software. I started doing my videos. I do my voiceovers uh, in my closet. I call it my master studio. It's very, very classy.
Yes.
And I do it in I do it in my closet. I was just telling somebody about it today. I literally, if you can't find me in my house, my kids, my wife, and they know I'm here, they know, oh, he's in the closet. He's doing another video.
Of course.
And I'm usually sitting down in my closet. Yeah, that's where I'm
Okay.
hiding. And the acoustics, it's the acoustics.
Yeah. That. And I love that you share that, because there are a lot of people just starting out doing this. And a lot of people probably think you have to have something super fancy, right? And just do what works, right? And I totally agree, especially if you have a closet that's carpeted. Oh my God, it is like the best audio room you'll ever find. So thank you so much for that tip. So folks, if you're listening, content creators, get with the closet, is the best thing going for like soundproof, right? We're going to talk a little bit about Jersey Mike's a little bit, switching gears. So I saw that you met the CEO some time back.
Yeah. So, okay. Funny story on that. There's Peter Cankro and his wife Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter had no idea, but um, they have these corporate meetings, maybe like once a year or so after COVID started. They started them back up, and and right before one of them, I got a call from a an area director out in California, and he said Tatiana's looking for you. And he was like, I've been trying to find your number. I had to look you up in the system. And he's like, she's looking for you. She saw a bacon video on Instagram and she's like, I need to find this guy. And and she found me. I met them in person. I did a short little video, the one that you might have seen. But I've met Peter multiple times on just store visits and at Jersey Mike's conferences in the past. But that was the first one I was able to document on
Gotcha.
video.
Gotcha.
But there's a picture of me and Peter back in 2015, and that's a throwback. It's on my Instagram all the way,
Oh,
all the time.
okay. This is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question that, well, I kind of already know the answer to this, but a lot of your followers always want to know is what is Jersey Mike's doing for you? Like, and I'm not expecting you to tell me specifics, but I know that you just got a partnership.
Mhm.
Yay!
Thank goodness. I've been working
So,
on it.
yes. So my big question for you is, are we talking like spokesperson? Are you? And I know that's not what the partnership is, but I'm asking, is that the next step? Like, can we see you as the spokesperson for Jersey Mike's?
Oh gosh, in my wildest dreams, maybe. Um, but I think for now it's just we're partnering together to and they've let me take the lead on whatever I want to post that they sponsor. Of course, everything has to be run through them and approved and aligned with what they're working on, not conflicting with what they've got going on. But um, I think that I think that they wanted to acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? Like social media, so many people are saying they're tagging Jersey Mike's and all a lot of my videos saying this guy, you gotta get this guy to be your spokesperson or marketer or head of this, head of that. It's just the acknowledgement, I think, and showing that they appreciate what I've been doing and what I continue to do. So I hope there's more to come. If I could get a commercial with Danny DeVito, I already told them I'm trying to do it. I'm in. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
that was my
I
next
want a
question. I was
commercial
gonna
with
say,
Danny
I know
DeVito. It'd be
Danny
amazing.
DeVito is kind of like their go-to guy right now, but I'm saying this could be like a nice collab. You, Danny, Donnie, and Danny. Oh, wait, I just did something there. Wait a minute, Donnie and Danny. I like it. Okay, we'll just put that out there, right? We'll just put it out there and pray on it.
It just
Let's see.
it just sounds good.
Yes, it does. It really does. Okay. So we talked about some of the technical things and kind of how you're doing your edits and stuff. Do you have a strategy for like how many videos you do, like a month or a week?
Yeah. Um, I kind of tried to slow down, but I was on like a 3, 4 video a week kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, because I was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Saturday is going to be my Instagram schedule, and I've been really driven more towards Instagram lately as opposed to TikTok because Instagram blew up on accident. It was literally an accident, and and Instagram is where I'm getting a lot of engagement. People are really digging into this stuff. Um, and so with YouTube, it's a whole different thing because it's all about working those algorithms. They can be very tricky. If you let off the gas too much, then you're thrown out of it. If you oversaturate, then you're kind of spamming and they won't push it as much. And and so it's kind of like a three video is a nice nice even that's like a nice level where I like to keep it for basically all platforms
Like
just to
3 a
not
week.
oversaturate and yeah, three a week. Yeah, three a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
three
All
a
right.
week. I'm sorry,
Yes.
three.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. That's a lot. That's I mean, and that is driving the consistency, and it shows. Um, you know, really important key to a lot of this is understanding how this all works. And that's not to say that folks have to understand it in the beginning, because I think a lot of people don't. But there's so much that goes into that whole algorithm thing and understanding just the back end of social media and your followers and understanding markets and all that kind of thing. And it sounds like you have gotten a hold on some of that, at least um, a little bit, um, enough to kind of get you where you are now. So it's working for you. But yeah, understanding that stuff is really important. So last thing I want to kind of touch on, which you touched on this quite a little bit earlier on, was how you kind of blend in to your content. You put in a lot of stuff about your family and your personal life. And I think that is what the followers are also gravitating to, being able to see that transparency, that being just human factor. So if you could tell us a little bit about why it was important for you to kind of be very open as you created this platform.
I wanted to show people that I'm not just some worker, some guy, some kid, as they called me at first. It's like, oh, this kid just making these videos. I wanted to humanize myself. Um, I wanted people to know that I am a person. I'm human. I'm flawed. I'm not perfect, and then that kind of so I've always been honest and open. I'm open with people in the store when we're talking. I'm very genuine. I'm honest, and I wanted to translate that into the content as well. And so once I got this big following, I'm like, okay, kind of like a Spider-Man moment happens, like with great power come great responsibility. And I felt it only right that I use this platform for good and try and help people and spread positivity because we see all this negativity and stuff on the internet, on all over the world, all this negativity. If I could just be that one little drop of positivity and cause that ripple, I'm just a small speck of sand on this huge beach of the world, right? But in this one little channel on these little social media platforms, I could reach just if I'm reaching just one person, helping one person in some way, shape, or form, I'm happy, and I just that's what's really kept me going is people reaching out to me saying how much my story, what I talk about, just what I'm doing, period, the passion, the honesty, the being genuine has helped them in some way. That like it's insane how many people have reached out, and that's just that right there is there's no words
Mhm.
to that.
Okay.
Knowing that I helped somebody.
Yeah, that is that's a big draw because there's a lot of negative stuff out there on social media and it's all like clickbait and it's like to finally come across something that is just so wholesome and just human. And it's like, oh, okay, there's this guy making sandwiches, but oh, wait a minute, but oh, there's his wife, and oh, wait a minute, he's into fitness and he does keto every twice a year, or right? That is really, really
Yeah.
cool. So, okay, so I'm gonna mention. Tell me about Donnie 2.0. Can you talk about that a little bit? Donnie 2.0. Do you remember that one? One of your posts where you talked
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm
Woo!
not telling you to tell me the whole
Donnie
story.
2.0.
I'm not telling you to tell me the whole story. But
Oh no.
for those who are listening, there's something that this is Donnie 2.0, folks. So, if you could just give us your own shortened
Yeah.
version of what that means. And I think it's fascinating and beautiful. I love Donnie 2.0, but tell us what that means.
So Donnie 2.0, the person I am now is not who I was for most of my life. Before I put this out on on my all my channels, I'm an alcoholic and an addict in recovery, and I struggled and I hurt myself. I hurt a lot of people. I was just not a good person for most of my life. And that all comes back to a lot of baggage from my childhood and things that happened in my teenage years. Um, and so, I didn't like myself. I hated myself. I don't like to use that word, but that's how I was. I did not like myself at all. And I treated myself as such. And I didn't know that by hurting myself, I was hurting others, right? And I was not somebody you wanted to be around, really. And so it took me being beat up by life hundreds of times, going to jail, almost losing my family, being kicked out of the house, just right down there at the bottom of the barrel for me to wake up and decide that this is it. I need to make the change, and I stuck with it. It was just my time. I tried it a bunch of different times, but this was the time where it finally clicked, and I had enough, and I just started doing the right thing, the next right thing, day by day, just one day at a time. And I started applying spiritual principles to my life and just trying to be a good person, just living righteously. Things that I didn't do before, and I was not a good husband. I wasn't the best father, and so Donnie 2.0. Somebody called me Donnie 2.0 when I re-proposed to my wife. Somebody got it on video on at an event, at a family event, and I re-proposed to my wife, and I told her how much I loved her. I appreciate everything that she's been through and stuck with me through this, and I wanted to give her a ring that she deserved because the ring that she had on I bought from the pawn shop across the street from my old Jersey Mike's for $200. So I finally had enough money to buy her a nice ring that I was proud of and that signified the love that that she's been deserving of this whole time. We've been together since 2014, 13, 13? Yes, 13. This is our 10-year marriage anniversary year.
Yay. Well,
Yeah,
Donnie,
it's
it is
that,
it
and
is
that's
a
where Donnie took.
I love it. It is a beautiful love story. I think that your followers, the ones that are like consistently coming back, I think as much as they are in love with that crazy sub guy, I think they really, really appreciate and love all the other things that you bring into your brand. You've got the family, you've got the kiddos, your wife, stories about your mom, um, which is just so endearing. I love it. It's just, I mean, what's not to like? What's not to like? So I appreciate you. coming on here and telling your story and sharing a little bit about your growth and your process. Hopefully this helps another content creator who's watching. Maybe somebody's currently sitting at a job and they're just kind of like, oh, you know what? I don't know what I can do next. And I love seeing this whole surgence of new blood and 2.0s, if you will, happen from social media. There's so much of it. Like I love just like watching people reinvent themselves, and it's really really cool to see. So I've got my little one right here. He's going to make a cameo appearance in my video. So I think that is all that I have. Yeah, my little guy. Say hi. Okay. With that, Donnie, thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Before They Get Famous. I know you have a lot going on. You're just like cranking out those videos, so I appreciate the time you've taken to come here and chat with me. Much appreciated. Can't wait to continue following you. Everyone who's watching, make sure you take a moment and check out ThatCrazySubGuy. He's on all the social medias. Again, I talked about consistency, so it's the same on every one. So ThatCrazySubGuy, right? If you want to, if you're interested in seeing other content creators on here, getting a sneak peek into their background, hit me up at letstalk@snazzyawards.com, or you can just hit up at Snazzy Awards, and I can try and see who else we can get on the show. So with that, thanks again, Donnie. Much appreciated, and we look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Of course. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So welcome.